All right, guys, good morning. Today is 11th of February, 2026. Crazy Global Market Talk with KEL. Crazy anytime, anywhere. Guys, today we have a lot of market information, especially on the NASDAQ and the VIX. So stay tuned. It's going to be very, very important. All right. Thank you very much for Daryl and Disha and Anthony for letting me know that things going well. Yep. Okay. Now, before that, again, disclaimer apply as usual. Please kindly do your risk management before activating your trades. Okay. All right, let's go to the fundamental first as usual. Right. Fundamental goal. All right. In the global market, well, we know that AI wreck is still ongoing. There's still some selling in the market. And of course, we know that the um, Ford just came out a worst quarterly earnings, all right, in 4 years. So not very good, although the guides for 2026 is better, but I think this is more like trying to smoothen down the problem. Now, the Alphabet boosts debt sales again as total risk past $30 billion, okay? And of course, apparently this Estée Lauder sues Walmart for despicable sale of counterfeit beauty products, okay? Interesting. And of course, Jeffrey Epstein file continue to threaten the political scene. And of course, Mr. Beast, the banker, well, apparently this YouTuber star is going to buy a youth-focused fintech app called Step, all right? And of course, the rest is BP suspended share buyback in a fresh signs of oil price pressure, which I told you guys oil is going to move up, yeah? Okay, so basically, I've given you some of the information. So let's look at what happened in the US market now. The Dow Jones, the S&P 500 closed lower as AI fear weighs on the financial stocks. So I told you to be careful on financial stocks, and it's all happening. And of course, the NASDAQ lost 0.59%. We'll talk about NASDAQ very soon. And of course, the same thing is that we know that the retail shares like Costco, Walmart, they came down 2 and 1% respectively because it shows that the retail sales are not really doing well in US, even though the Dow Jones is at record high level. Then, of course, the financial stock took a hit after the Outtrust and AI got a big issue. LPL Financials, Charles Schwab's, Morgan Stanley, all down by about 2 to 5% above. Okay, so basically, I am very, very certain that there will be a market correctional move very, very soon. Allow me to explain to you shortly, yeah? So the thing is this financial stock is down. I talked about that earlier. Now, crude oil price, in my opinion, will be going up. Now, yesterday I was in an event and I met a few friends of mine and we were talking about oil prices and I told them, look, I said that oil price today is about $62 to $64. I believe that at the end of the year, we're going to see crude oil price hitting $80 to $85. Okay, I'll write it down for you as a form of a confirmation. Now we can, 1 minute, annotate here. Okay, so the current crude oil price now, as of today, February, right? February now, crude oil price is about $64, right? Now, I believe you're going to go up very soon, all the way up to $80 to $85 by December 2026, okay? So which means that we're talking about an upside of almost 40%, okay? Almost 40%. And of course, honestly, I'm preparing for this run. We saw the copper. Copper has run up. Okay, copper, yeah? Copper, yeah, copper has run up. So next one was gold. So gold also went up, right? So the next one will be oil. Oil will be the next one, the next up and coming, okay? I know that by saying this, like, yeah, how do you know? Like, there's no reason to buy. Remember, when silver was at $20, I told you silver go to $50. Everybody asking me the same question, Kel, how can that be? Then, of course, when it happens, then everybody notices that, oh, because silver is needed in this, in that, in the AI, because of silver is needed in all the chips making, blah, blah, blah. So if let's say we're talking about AI driven, all right, where electricity is going to be the most important thing because AI can only work when there's electricity. Okay, AI cannot create its own energy. So if energy is going to be heavily used for AI, then definitely we're going to need a lot of electricity, right? So electricity at the moment now, the only thing to use is only the from the petrol and the gas and stuff like that, right? So all these things tells me that the boys will speculate the next thing. And if you look carefully, all the market, okay, even Singapore context, all the market has hit record high. the last commodity that had not hit at all-time high will be oil. So oil all-time high, we know is 147 US dollar. That's back in 2011 or 2009. I can't remember. I think 2011, yeah. So I remember that very clearly because I was there. I know oil, we were buying oil from $60 back then, same price, to 80. Then when I predicted $100, everyone is quoting me like I'm crazy. But then 100 came, Goldman Sachs came in and told our national airline, said that this oil will go higher to $200. And our national airline actually, hedged it at $150 per barrel. I remember that very clearly. You can check out the history. And of course, that was the highest point. And then after that, the crude oil price breakdown. So will this happen again? Yes, it will. Okay, I am very confident it will happen. So take a screenshot of this to remember that KEL has given you this view. Now, theoretically, we have been predicting the gold market. We were perfect on that. Silver, off the target, but it's okay. Never expected to be $100. So I leave it to you to decide. Yeah. Okay. So now the thing is this. Okay. Why am I very negative on technology shares? Now, back then in Microsoft, when Microsoft did a double top here itself, really very beautiful double top, I was calling for a sell on the NASDAQ. Then after that, Microsoft came down. Okay, first drop was fine. Then after that, it got sideways, and that was where I know, excuse me, I know many trainers in Singapore were calling for buy on Microsoft. They feel that Microsoft was cheap. Now, I had a little bit different view on that because I felt that the volume was a little bit very funny, yeah. And then after that, it broke down the support, okay. And then when it recovered, everybody thinks that that is a recover. But when it gapped down, okay, that was where all break loose because there's a gap over here. So the market really covered the gap beautifully. As a technical trader, we know that there's a gap covered. So done. Okay, so now watch carefully, my friends. We have a huge volume here on this particular day. So the resistance is not here. The resistance is here. So the market now failed to go up. So you're going to test back down again. I believe that this time around, there's a gap over here. So it's widely closed here, this gap. 368. Okay, so where are we now? We at basically 413. So which means that there will be a potential drop of that much in magnitude. So of course, recently we all know that Bill Gates is in the limelight with the Jeffrey Epstein's file, but of course it's no longer with this Microsoft in the way. So that's why it doesn't really hit the market that hard. But nonetheless, okay, this pullback by Microsoft is not good because Microsoft is one of the AI leaders, and yet the stock price is down that much and there's no reprieve. This is a warning sign, yeah? So $368 will be my personal target for Microsoft. Of course, again, I leave to you to decide. End of the day, I'm just sharing my personal view here, all right? You do your personal take. Okay, so that is Microsoft for you. And of course, the next market that I'm very concerned is Apple. Apple failed to hit the record high, and we can see it's very clearly overbought, and some selling coming in. So I believe that if Microsoft get hit, Apple will be hit again. So Apple coming down to 245 is very possible because it happened before, it happened recently, so it should happen again. Okay, so this is my personal take on Apple. I think that we shouldn't take that position, all right, to buy here. In fact, you'll be looking to sell, all right, for Apple. Again, this is my personal view on Apple. Okay, all right. And of course, a part of Apple, the last one for the market, it'll be the VIX. Now, everybody look at the VIX carefully. Do you see something that I see? Okay. So let me tell you this. In PTP or CMC, right, we learn this thing called common point. Okay, the common point is clear. We have two common points here, but we have an uplifting momentum. Okay, and this is not a good sign because that clearly tells you that the momentum is moving up. There is people buying VIX. Okay, then if that happened, this is not a good sign because we've seen it before somewhere around here where the market consolidated at the ground but lifting higher, and when that all happened, we're going to see a upthrust. Okay, so I believe that this upthrust will be created by the NASDAQ, And mathematically, we should see it very, very soon. Probably today, tomorrow, latest, we're going to see that. So the non-farm payroll will likely be one of the catalysts that I think may create that. We do know that there are a lot of people losing their job in America, and people think that this is crazy, but it's okay. Today we're at 17, so I believe that we're going to see 28. Now that is more than 30% for where we are right now, and if that happened, that is only because there's some selling in the market. So watch out for this number. See whether I'm right in the next 2-3 weeks. Yeah. Okay. So economic calendar. Let's take a look. Today we have the non-farm payroll coming at 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. Remember Singapore time. The unemployment data is 4.4%. So personally, I believe that this number will be about 47,000. This is my personal view, 47,000. And unemployment, I think, will be 4.5%. Okay, this is my personal view as of now at 9:46 a.m. Today's date. All right, just only, I sign off. Okay, just for the fun of it. We're still very early to the day, but I just cannot believe that this will happen. Okay. So what if the data really is not so good? That means that there's more pressure to cut interest rate. Yes, it's possible. It is possible. On the flip side, it's also possible to tell you that the market will start to sell because of the worry that US, failed to do their job. Yeah. Okay, last one. The fundamentals that is on my Twitter or my X. Okay. So we all know that now the growth stocks are really moving at a very extremely speed. All right, the growth stock is very expensive right now. Basically, we're talking about 74x itself. So again, this is something that we don't see. The last time we saw this was back in year 2000, where the Nasdaq was at 5,000, and then the Nasdaq crashed down. And also back in the 1985 to 2015, that time, we're talking about 30x. So now we are 70x. Oh my goodness. Okay. 70 times earnings. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, of course, we all know that the people are still very optimistic in the stock market. Everybody's buying stocks because they know that they're in trouble with the money, so that they rather buy some stocks. And of course, the office CMBS delinquency rate is all going higher. And of course, we are getting the unemployment data really going down. The jobs openings are really not coming in. That means there are lesser jobs available for the people in America. And of course, we all know that the insiders are really selling. And of course, we also know that the Bank of China, they are buying still a lot of gold. That is a good sign. I still believe gold will go up, not so soon, but there will be. And of course, this is the one that's ongoing right now, the biggest viral picture. This is the Bank of America bull and bear indicator. And of course, it's very clear that we are now at a very extremely level. And the last time we saw this of this magnitude was back in February 2018, when the market came down by 15%. And in March itself, that's when in 2006, it came down also. So the thing is, this is very clear that we're going to see some pullback, okay? Extremely percent, about 3 to 5%, because now to come down 10% is very difficult. I think to down by 3 to 5%, I think it's very feasible. So traders, be careful on this. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, it may all happen very soon. Okay, so that's why I'm giving you a heads up, and I want you to make some money out of that. Yeah. Okay, so that is the fundamental done. Hope you like the sharing. Now, every morning, every day, I do my best to give you my view of the market, and I want you guys to benefit from it. Just give a minute. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the market right now. Okay, so we have the gold this morning. Let's take a look. Now, gold this morning opening price is 5024, MLP 5040. So now we are above MLP. So by right, the market is bullish, and the KSI, the KCX are bullish. So it should be a buy up in the market. Yeah, it should be. Okay, why I use the word should be? Because it is the right way to look at the chart right now. Just give a minute on the. Okay, but the only thing is this: We are trading still below the pivot at 5072. So why the market pivot below pivot? We need to be careful because below pivot is actually a classical sell, but the condition is that it has to go below OP. If the market is above OP, the classical sell is not triggered. So you need to wait for the market to go below OP before you start to fire your shots in the market. Now, one thing to note, there's a KCL at 5059. I mentioned this yesterday, and yesterday we can see the market couldn't go past 5059. I'll show you again the chart shortly. So after that itself, right, the market came back down. So, but we are heavily supported by the MA30. So it's a bit of like, pressure, yeah? There's a pressure between the buy and the sell recently. The buy is pushed up by the MA30. The sell is pushed down by the pivot, okay, at least these few days. So because of these two, right, there's a bit of compression here. Hence, therefore, sideways trading will be better. But if you are doing the dot positioning, you will feel that, hey, your profit's not really coming in. You like one moment you're making money, next moment you're giving back the money again. So this is what's happening right now in the market, okay? So now let me show you the power of this KCL 5059. So I change the color, okay? I change it to a different color. I'll show you the power of this. Okay, I change it to maybe this blue 5059. Okay, so this is the KCL number. I put it in the screen, okay, and then I go to the 5-minute chart, and then you can see the impact of this 5059. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look. 5059 of yesterday. Yeah. So you see yesterday the market opens, and then the market hit 5059, pulls back. Exactly, pull back. Exactly, pull back. Crazy, right? So once you push up to 5059, there was an immediate burst up. But after that, when it closed below 5059, boom, the selling was fast and furious, yeah? So this 5059 is a very, very important technical level. Very, very important technical level. So traders who wants to watch the buy position, if I look at 5059, only when it cross it, then you should have a very strong upside, yeah, which you saw it previously here. Okay, so if we move back now, we move back to today. Okay, the market goes very nearby to 5059 this morning and then pull back down. So now we are trading slightly lower. This morning, let's take a look at this morning chart. Okay, hold on here. Okay, I think there's some issue on my chart now. Hold on a minute. Okay, it's been, yeah, hold on. My chart is having some issue right now. Cannot change the time frame. Okay, let's go back to the day chart. Oh dear, I cannot maximize my screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so everybody take a look. If you notice this, the 5059 and the KCB are stacked together. Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah. So there is a high chance gold will be heading to here. I repeat, there is a high chance gold could be heading to 5059 because the KCB is 5058. Can you see that right now? Yeah. So traders, watch out for this. It is possible to see that. I can send this picture over to my friends in China too to take a look. Now, basically, we are a lot of countries now watching CRAZII at the same time. Everybody using CRAZII too, all being crazy here. Okay. So let's see. Okay, 5059 and 5058 is very nearby. And of course, on the same opinion, if I do expect the Nasdaq to actually go down, then of course we're going to see gold going up a little bit on the safety net precautionary note. Yeah. Okay, so we have the gold. I've given you my view on gold already. Let's look at the Dow Jones. Okay, so Dow Jones is very clear. It's the same thing. Dow Jones yesterday broke above the KCL at 50107, right? Which is here. Okay, so I'll show you same thing, the power of KCL. So I change it to the KCL number 50107, right? So that is a KCL thingy here. Okay, if we go back to the 5-minute chart of yesterday, then you will actually see the market. Okay, the power of this one, the 50107. Yeah, show you. So you can see the KCL yesterday when the Dow opened, it was really fidgeting around the KCL level. So you can see that the accuracy is really incredible. Look at where it stopped there. All right, where it break, where it stopped. So this is where you have the double diamond, the two diamonds involved. And then after that, the price, it just shoot up all the way after it broke the 50107. It ran down, then recover, yeah? Okay, then when it came back down, oh my God, look at it. When it came back down, guys, look at how crazy is the KCL. The market at the highest point, green now all the way, right? Look at where it stopped at the KCL. Oh my goodness. Look at the accuracy of the KCL. Oh, look at that. KCL basically comes from the day chart color changeover and the closing price with the KSI. So this two comes together. And then you look at the accuracy of the KCL. Look at it. It's really amazing that the market seemingly know the existence of KCL. You can see that that is KCL, yeah? KCL at 50107. Okay, so now you understand why our system itself is so crazy. So imagine if you have this system on board. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, so take this away. All right, then you can see right now why the Dow Jones is moving up. Okay, so if there's going to be a reason for the Dow to come down, it has to be the KCL as one of the catalysts. Okay, so if market do break MLP, it will test KCL today, and then of course it'll test the KTR -1. And the market rebound is expected to go back up again. If it doesn't, that's it. The selling wave will come in. So now we are still watching it very closely. I cannot see how it come down first at the moment until it break OP. Yeah. Now the upside for the Dow Jones still continue at 50,443. Can you hear me now better? Okay, this is the audio loss. Which part did I lost you guys? Oh dear. Okay, where did I lose you guys? I repeat myself. Okay, so okay, now okay. Okay. So I repeat myself, the Nasdaq should be testing the KCB at 25,280 first target. But once it touches there, if it pulls back, there will be some selling in the market. Okay, but the boys are definitely buying. So the stock, like example, Apple and this Microsoft, they're now holding up, right? But if they can't hold and they give way because of worry or there's some program selling in the market, then watch out. Nasdaq can drop back down. Yeah. So upside is there. Okay, definitely there. But if it pulls back, it must stay above 25,102. Okay, today we have non-farm payroll, so you need to watch out this very carefully. Yeah. Okay. All right, the last one, it will be the Bitcoin as usual. Okay, now Bitcoin, as you can see, we have pivots now, and Bitcoin, the pivot is very, very tight, very tight. So that's why the market is squeezing very badly here, squeezing, yeah? Okay, by the way, gold is trading higher now. It's 5056 now. Oh, congratulations, guys. So for those who have followed me, congratulations. You make some money from the gold market. Okay, let me just put my TP first. 2236. Okay. All right. So for gold, for Bitcoin, you see that it's compressed so heavily. You can see the OP and MLP is so tight, but the boys are still buying. But interestingly, the retail are selling. That's why, because the market is still up and down, right? So boys are buying, 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 but the retail are selling. So two-prong, what will happen? Okay. So let's say now the big boys manage to push it up because they have accumulated enough. So 70,300 series will be the first resistance. If we can stay and break above that, we're going to see going all the way to this number, which is 77,900 series. Okay. Now that is if it happens. Now, if the market do not go up and break down instead, oh my God, this is going to be bad because we're talking about 59,000 again. Okay. So upside wise, it has to break 70,300 series to go higher. And the downside wise, if it breaks below 67,510 today, we're going to see some selling back down to 59,000. Okay. So my personal take is this: I feel that Bitcoin is going to come down. Although it's really against the big boys theory, but I just feel that this time around the boys really want to probably give a lesson to Michael Saylor because of what he's been doing. I just feel that way. I don't know. This is just a typical Wall Street feeling. I hope that I'm wrong. And of course, I don't want people to get hurt, but those people buying MSTR, the company will be in trouble if this really happen. Yeah. Okay, so that is how I see it. Someone wants me to go back to gold again to see the 5-minute chart. Okay, sure, no problem. To just recover just now the timing that I lost for you. Apology on that. Not too sure is it I touch it. Okay, so you can see gold. That's now I told you guys it'll go up, and the target was 5058. The highest level it went was 5056. I'm not wrong. Yeah, 56.92. All right, so missed by a little bit. Okay, and pull back by stopping here right now. So let's see whether it can hang around this point first before we make our next call. I did took some TP here at 55. I mean, I'm a very kiasu guy, so I just do what I need to do. Yep. Okay, guys, so that will be all for this morning. Okay. Oh, there's someone asking me to see crude oil. Okay, sure, crude oil, no problem. Let's do that. Now, crude oil, look at carefully, my friends. Okay, I'll show you what is my reason. Yeah. Now, the last time we saw a congregation, it was somewhere like this, which is very identical to where we have right now. Then there was some selling, right? Some selling came in, but interestingly, the boys were buying. Interesting. Of course, there was some profit taking after that, but the profit taking came in, the market is supported, you see, cannot go down. Then after that, the crude oil price goes up. And before that, Iran thing happened, bang, then the whole thing went crazy, right? So I believe that we are going to say this again. Now, of course, it cannot be just keep on having the Iran issue. It should be more than that. But I just feel that we are now in the same position. Okay. So crude oil price goes up, inflation will shoot up, and then of course you have again worries that the stock market will come down. So everything is going along the pipeline. So let's see whether this will actually happen. Okay. I still believe that by December, all right, 2026, we're going to see crude oil price between $80 to $85. Okay, that's my personal view. Where are we right now? $64, very far away, right? Yeah, this is exactly what I said back then when gold was trading at 2,500. I say go to 3,500. Everybody think I'm crazy. But then again, when it happens, people tend to forget, yeah? Okay, guys, that will be all for today's sharing. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for listening to me. This is Kel signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.